Start the recording. Okay. So we were just schmoozing about Rosh Hashana falling on Shabbos and the idea.
I don't see. It says Brian. Which Brian is it?
Yeah, Brian's there.
Yeah, which Brian? It doesn't tell me which Brian. I don't see any faces. I see names. Moshe K is Kalani, Dali, Lewin, DB. Who's DB?
We have theories.
David Ryder.
Okay. And who's Brian?
Spry.
Oh, Brian. How you doing?
Baruch Hashem. How's my son doing?
I just came. It seems he's doing okay.
If you still can't see people, maybe try coming in through the downloaded application. Is this how you did it last time?
No, no. In fact, the other time I did today also, I couldn't get it. I'll do that again. I'll try that again, but let's see. Okay.
Sure.
It didn't really work for me before. Let's see. No, it stops when it says system. It says launch meeting. Let's see what happens here. So I'll go back to here. At least I can see you and I can see you. I can't see anybody else unless they speak. When they speak, I see them.
Yeah. So I think if you double click on it, it might.
Double click on what do I click? Double click on which?
Double click on your face and see if it moves it to more of a panel mode.
No, that's not good. And I lost you. Now I got you back. Oh, now I see people one by one.
Okay, that's okay. Something. All right, good.
All right. We'll
I do apologize for the late hour for those on the side of the pond.
Who's on this side of the pond? Who's on this side except me and you?
We always have a couple of Israelis. I'm actually in Tzfat right now at my mother's.
Very nice.
It looks like you're on the USS Enterprise, actually.
Naftali Landau's here.
No, that was actually shot in Tzfat, just so you guys know.
Naftali Landau, I haven't seen you in a while. How you doing? Moshe Klaus came last time. John Green came last time. Naftali Landau, I haven't seen in a while.
All right, well, we have a couple minutes.
I only missed the last one. Every other one I was here.
And we noticed when you miss.
Naftali, no one can tell because your camera's off.
Oh, I forgot my camera. There you go.
You're in your car. Look at that. You're in your car.
We always get a few guys in the cars. Old Match last time was in this car.
Okay.
Who holds the record for the most years in yeshiva, like consecutive years?
Who holds the record for what?
Not many, because Rebbe usually kicks him out after a few years.
That's the most consecutive years, like Shana, Hey, Vav, Zayin, Chet.
I got a guy now. It's 50 year. I want to get rid of him, but doesn't want to leave. Shmuley Israel.
No, I'm saying Rebbe always wanted people to move on. No, not in a bad way.
Want people to move on. But so a few years ago, I decided that it takes 2 years to get Michigan instead of 2 years. This guy doesn't want to leave us. This guy doesn't want to leave us. He just this year Shmuley Israel. He likes us too much. He doesn't want to leave us, and it's a problem.
Well, so what year is it?
You're too likable.
Yeah. I'm trying not to. I always say that there were two Rebbeim in yeshiva. In the beginning of the year, nobody liked it. By the end of the year, everybody liked me and Rabbi Aretz. That's all. Right? Nobody liked Rabbi Aretz at the beginning, and everybody liked him at the end.
Oh, he passed away.
And the truth is, there was no Chumash Rebbe like Rabbi Aretz.
Oh yeah, he was serious.
Oh, he was amazing.
Yeah, huge Talmud Chacham.
You still have his Torah.
But the way he handled the Chumash was very, very.
You still have his Sefer Torah for Rosh Chodesh?
Yeah, we have a Sefer Torah. We hardly use it because it keeps on chipping. It's an old Sefer Torah. So we have two good Sefer Torah. We'll do another campaign. It was a very good campaign we did with Sefer Torah. So we'll do another. All right, should we start? 11 o'clock. It's 11:03 already.
Sure.
Yeah.
We have a lot of people here. Not a lot.
Usually I have to wait 10 minutes, but if you want to start now, we can start now because it's late.
Yeah, I gotta sleep.
Sleep.
But when I was thinking to myself, if I would have told you last Rosh Hashana there was a Gzera Shemayim, that the whole world's going to close down, and that there's going to be this disease, this small little virus going around, and it's going to stop everything. Planes won't fly, people won't see. You wouldn't believe me. And it was all Nigzer in last Rosh Hashana. Realize that when Rosh Hashanah is a Yom Adin, it's really a Yom Adin. And when things like this happen, it happens because it happened on Rosh Hashanah. So Mitzvah Hashem, Mitzvah Hashem, this coming Shabbos, we should take it seriously and say, you know what, I want this year's Gezerah to be much better. Somebody told me, I don't know where he got it from, that Tavshin Pei is a bad year and Tavshin Av is a good year. So we'll see if that's true, but I'm not going to go there yet. But before we finish tonight, I'm going to read you something which is unbelievable. The Kapchiner Rebbe. It was a Rebbe in Kiryat Gat, and he died about a year ago, and he wrote this thing about 4 years ago. And I'll read it to you when I finish, just to show you. But let me just start with a few things. First of all, we started Slichas yesterday. And what is Slichas based on? Slichas is based on, it's a medrash. I'm reading a medrash, a very interesting medrash. It's in the Yalkut Shimoni, if you're really interested in looking it up. It's a Remes Shin Sadik Ches. And it says, V'yavar Hashem al panav. We say this every day. Oh, Shimon Lazarian, I haven't seen you in a long time. How you doing? Okay, anyway, it says, V'yavar Hashem al panav. Amar B'yochanan. Ilmoli HaKadosh Mikra Kasu Yev Shalomar. You wouldn't allow, the Torah wouldn't say that, you wouldn't be allowed to say with that. What is V'yavar Hashem al panav? Right? Malamed, it teaches us, Yishtatev HaKadosh Baruch Hu K'shliach Tzibur. Hashem covered himself with a towel like a chaz, like a shlich tzibur. And he says, "V'heralo l'Moshe," and he showed Moshe, "Amar calls man to Yisrael chaltim, whenever Yisrael sins, lefanai in front of me, yasu lefanai keseder hazeh, say the seder aveni mochel lachem. I'll be mochel. The seder is Yavar Hashem al panai, Shem Hashem kel rachem lechanun. So there's a promise from Hashem. If we say the seder, we'll get mechila. So I was thinking about this, and I'll tell you a little story about a guy, yeshiva went to another yeshiva, and one of the rebbeim said to one of the guys that if you're having problems with not good thoughts, with Hirurim, it's good to go to the mikveh. So, and the guy goes to the mikveh, and he said it didn't help him. So he asked me if the rebbe made a mistake. So I told him, I don't want to discuss other rebbeim, and I said, they brought this farm, they bring that going to the mikveh helps these kind of things. But I said, we don't believe in magic. In Judaism, we don't believe in magic. Going to mikveh might help on a certain level if you're working on yourself. I don't want to have those kind of thoughts. What am I doing to prevent them? The Rambam tells you that it hates those kind of thoughts, put the Torah thoughts in your mind. So the same thing with it. If you omer lefan, I say to Azel, I'm going them. If you mumble the Seder, Hashem, Hashem, Kal Rachem, mumble, it's not going to work. If you think about it, Hashem, Kal Rachem, what it means, Hashem before the Chet, he lets everybody get around. He gives everybody koyach, no matter if they're going to sin, not going to sin, and he'll be the same Hashem after the Chet. He'll help you. Kel Rachum b'Chanun. He's powerful. Kel is power. Rachum he has mercy for us. The good guys. Chanun is mercy for the bad guys. So the thing about the words, what the words mean, then they'll be Michael us. If we think about it, if we just mumble jumble, it's not going to help us. It's an interesting thing. We're going to say in a little while the Al Chaitz. And one of the Al-Chaitz is Al-Chaitz Shechaf Tol Lefanecha B'Vidui Peh. Al-Chaitz translation is Al-Chaitz that I sin with confession of the mouth. So I heard the guy asked the Kasha, confession of the mouth, what are you going to confess with? Your arms, your legs? Of course confession of the mouth. What does Vidui Peh mean? What do you think Vidui Peh means? Okay, right? What do you mean? It has to be Vidui Peh. You should have said Vidui. What do you mean Vidui Peh? So he says the Pshat, the Al-Chaitz is Al-Chaitz Shechaf Tol Lefanecha B'Vidui Peh. The video that it comes out of my mouth. If all I did is say that I'm sorry, that's not al chait. Vidui peh. If it's not vidui believe, that's not a vidui. The vidui has to be believe, and that's what the whole avodah now on this source my tshuva and Rosh Hashana is. If we just go through the motions, it's not going to help us. If we really bring it home, that's what's going to make a difference. I told you this before, but guys ask me, what's the school of the Yom Roy? The school is ready. We know it from the Tefillah of the Son of the Tokev. The school is Tefillah Tzedakah Shuva, but it's not mumble jumble Tefillah, and it's tzedakah when it hurts, and it's speaking of tzedakah. The yeshiva needs a little tzedakah now, and just as an aside, that unfortunately because of the Corona business, I didn't raise money properly, and my rebbeim are very behind, and it's time to try to help. The most chitin, there's no most chitin in Tishrei, I need Moschim for my Rebbeim. So anybody can help, please go online or any way you want. Or David, ohrdavid.org. Anyway, but just to go through the motions of tefillah stuff of tshuva doesn't help. It's really tefillah means I really daven to Rebbe Shalom from my heart. I'm trying to connect to him, and tefillah stuff right or tshuva and tshuva is from my heart. It has to be a real thing. It has to be this. It's not just a game. No, it's interesting. In last week's parsha is the parsha of tshuva. Famous thing. It says, this mitzvah I'm giving you today is not defaced, not beyond you. It's not far away from you. It's not in the heavens. Who's going to go to Shema and get it? Right? The Hashana will do it. It's not never Yam. What's a Yam? Who's going to go across the sea and tell us? It's very, very close to us in our hearts and our mouths to say to do it. So Machlokes Rishonim, in fact, the Rambam in both Shatim, is this mitzvah zos referring to the entire Torah, whereas mitzvah zos are only referring to tshuva. So Hashem is telling us. So Hashem comes and tells you, it's not some rabbi. Hashem is telling you, so the first of all, the first of the entire Torah means there's no reason why everybody can't participate, can't do it. But the Ramban says referring to tshuva. And Kasha is a kasha. If it's karva davar alechem od, why is it so hard to do tshuva? Why is the tshuva so difficult? It's karva davar alechem od. Hashem says it's very, very easy. So it's karva, it's easy. So why is tshuva hard? So Kasha is a very important yesod. So the problem with we have with tshuva is that we don't want to change. We don't want to. This way I am. What am I going to do? This way I am. We always say that. What am I going to do? I'm not going to get any better. This way I am. And part of tshuva has to be that I'm really going to make the change. And I always share. I don't have it in front of me now. There's a very interesting chart seal. Interesting in the Mishnah Berurah. There's a chart seal on the bottom. He rarely does this. There's a chart seal in Hilchos Yom Kippur by Mincha. And the halacha he brings in Mishnah Berurah by Yom Kippur is read Parshas Yonah by Mincha, and there's two reasons. One reason is tshuva, and the other reason you can't run away from Hashem. And in the Shar Tzion he says, what does that mean? He says Yonah didn't want to be a Navi, so he runs to the Yam. If you're going to run away from Hashem, so he would have to give us the Hut in the day. And he runs to the Yam. He gets thrown overboard. Should have died. He gets swallowed by a fish. He should have been swallowed. Should have been digested by the fish. And you would have said, "Is Hashem going to have Yonah do the Nevi'ah?" Of course not. And what happens? You know the end of the story. He gets expelled to dry land, goes to the day, and he does what Hashem said. So the Mishnah says that's what we're reading on Yom Kippur to tell us that whatever Hashem wants from us, He's going to get from us. There's no way out of it. And he said, if you don't get it right this time, you'll come back again until you get it right. And he says, what do you need to do this for? You have to come back again and disintegrate in the kever and go through your life again, all the service again. So get it right this time. Mishmur says in the Farish. But part of it is we really have to realize that I got to get my act in order. And it means we have to change. And change is hard. And it's hard for all of us. But that's part of it. It's bilvachol. It's in your heart to do it if we take it seriously, and that's what the avodah is in these days we have. The avodah we have in these days is we got to really focus on what we've been doing wrong. I always say the tshuva is three things. Tshuva is aziva sachet. The first thing I have to stop what I'm doing, stop sinning. Charata, the regret that I did it. And I always tell the guys, what regret is, each one of us can think of the worst thing you ever did in your life. The worst thing, not four worst things, the worst thing. And you think about how did I do that? That's regret, but not such an easy level. But the third thing you got to do is vidui. Vidui means al-chayk, but it means I have to admit that I made a mistake. I messed up. I like to blame my Rebbe. I like to blame my parents and my mother and my sister. And I like to blame the guy down the block, my roommate. I like to blame everybody else. Al-Chayk means I really want to I'm taking seriously. I'm the one who messed up. I'm the one who did it. The other guys didn't do it. I messed up. And without vidui, there's no tshuva. So part of tshuva has to be that I'm going to do it seriously, and that's what we got to do. And Mr. Shem, we take it a little more seriously. These days will be very free to us. We'll move on in our lives. In other words, I always say, you've been through this. I said this last time I spoke also. We did it before. I went through Rosh Hashanah, I went to an El, I went through everything. You're right. But if we do it right, every year should be a different level. Every year we should get a little bit better. And part of our Reb Chaim Shmuel is right. We don't want to make that big step. We don't want to make those big changes. If we don't take it seriously, we're not going to do it. And we have to say, you know what? I'm going to do it. And I always say, we're not going to, at least me, will not be a tzaddik by its coming Shabbos. So what does that mean? But Hashem wants to see that I'm moving in that direction. That's all. I'm moving in that direction. I'm a little bit better. Little steps, little baby steps, small little things. And I mentioned last time, I'll say it again, there are three kinds of things we should do. There's a Kabbalah we should do now, accept something upon ourselves, that we're going to try our best until Yom Kippur. I'm not going to be not beyond Yom Kippur. Whatever it is, something I can do till Yom Kippur. Maybe never miss a minyan till Yom Kippur. Whatever I can do, a little thing that's not so small, but it's small enough that I can do till Yom Kippur. And our friend Rav Gamliel Rabinovich says, pick a tiny thing, a very tiny thing that you can do for the rest of your life. Why he says that? He says because we pick the tiny thing. Every time you do it, you remember you went through Yom Kippur. And I always tell everybody there was a famous story that the asked Rav Shach what Kabbalah he made. So he made a Kabbalah that he's never going to bench without a bencher. Rav Shach knew Shas Balpeh. There's no problem with benching. He's never going to bench without a bencher. And the famous story is, I don't know if it's true, but they say the story that he once was placed, there was no bencher. So before he benched, he wrote the Birchas Hamazon out. Then he benched from what he wrote. But that was his Kabbalah. I'm not going to bench a bencher. The clothes ought to be so big. It has to be something that you're really going to do. And that's what we got to do these days. These days, Hashem wants to see movement. And we got to do the movement. And the Mitzvah Hashem, if we do the movement, then Hashem will guarantee us a good year. I'm going to read you something. It's from a Sefer from the Kretchen Rebbe. This is unbelievable. I'm going to read it translated. I'm not going to read the whole thing. Its name of the Sefer is Tamil Yisrael, and it's in Parshas Miketz. Okay? And the reason that it has nothing what I just spoke about, except that I mentioned in the beginning that last year Hashem decided something in Rosh Hashanah that we see now. But this man wrote this about 4 years ago. It proves that Chacham Gadol min Navi, that Chacham is greater than Navi. And I'll read one paragraph, and I'll tell you what it says in the next paragraph. And that should be a simile to what's going on now. But he, Paro of Cholom, Paro had these dreams, Parshas Miketz, he had these dreams. Shakadosh Baruch Hu Yovu Dever Bolam. He says, what is a dream? Hashem could bring Dever. Dever is pestilence, whatever these pestilence is. Shehu She'en Cholom. It's like a dream. Shein Bo Mamoshes. You can't define it. You can't find it. Vein Ro'oso. And now look what he says. L'mashal. I'll give you an example. Listen to this. I'll give you an example. Kadosh Baruch Hu Yochel Loharid virus, it says. Katan. Hashem can bring down a small virus. L'hafitzo l'chol olam. Spread it around the whole world. V'ziahafoch v'yishabesh. It's called, it will turn over and destroy the entire world. Kulo. Yisof ha'olam v'yatzofo. From one end to the other end. Al yidei cholom. And it's like a dream. All the technology in our days, and all the nations of the world, the whole world would be like they're in a dream. And since Purim, it's like a dream what's going on. Everybody's wearing masks. I was just watching a levaya of a friend of mine's wife, Nebuch, and everybody's wearing masks. It's like a different world. It's like a dream. Nothing's helping us. So a man said what a Rebbe wrote 5 years ago. It's powerful that he could even. How did he realize how he's going to say this? And he says in the next paragraph, and this will happen at the end of days, right? The local won't be at the end of days. Won't be milchama. And it won't be with power, right? Iran. It won't be from Iran, and not from Syria. HaKadosh Baruch Hu Levad Yilchom. HaKadosh Baruch Hu himself will fight. And some Milchamos Gog Magog. And that'll be the Milchamos Gog Magog. Mitzvah Hashem, this is what it is. Sheker HaShus L'Shua. And the armies won't, the horses, means the armies won't save us. Only Hashem, right? Only Hashem will save us. Mitzvah Hashem, I hope this man is right. hope that this virus is the Chamas Gogol Malchut. At the end of the day, it's going to see Mashiach this year. And I give everybody a bracha that we should have a Ksimatova and a very good bench year. And I'm glad everybody joined us. And you can say everybody can say whatever they want. I have a chance. I don't see everybody, but I see your names. So I don't know what's wrong, but okay. So that was a Baruch Hashem. Everybody good?
Who wrote Rabbi Grafsky? Who wrote this?
The Krepshiner Rebbe, his name was. I never heard of him either, but that's what he is.
Sounds good.
The Krepshiner Rebbe. And he was a Rebbe in Kiryat Gat, which is not the most religious town in the country, but that's where he lived. That's where he was in Kiryat Gat. And he passed away about a year ago.
And he wrote this
several years ago.
Wrote this 4 years ago?
Yeah, he wrote a couple of, I don't know how many years ago, but a few years ago he wrote this. Oh. He's dead already about a year. So you couldn't have seen what was going on. When somebody showed me this, I was like, what, how can this be? It's so accurate, right? He's buried virus Leolam, right? And it's going to change everybody and mix everybody up. And all technology in the world is not helping anybody.
Okay? Well, except for Zoom. Zoom's helping people.
It's not helping the virus.
Oh.
It only helps us that if I speak to you in Zoom, I don't have to wear a mask. So.
How do we resolve this idea of saying, okay, you want to make a little improvement from now to Yom Kippur or a little bit for the rest of your life, but then how do you say the Al Chaitz if you're not able to, if one of the Al Chaitz or multiple of the Al Chaitz are not on your list of current fixes? So that sounds like it's
a very good question. It's a very good question. Happens to be the Chidah says that part of our vidui is for the whole Klal Yisrael. But the other unfortunately say that every Al Chait on some level is for us, right? Most of us didn't do something. I always say that if you look at the Chidah has an olive base all the way Averis, Sham Bagada goes through all the olives and bases and Sham Bagada. So here's like tremendously big Averis, little Averis. Like I was Bola Nation Sish, and I ate it and I didn't say Asher Yotzer, so like right next to each other. Well, the big ones, so it's very strange, but okay. But part of it is we say Vida for everybody. Part of it is, most of us didn't have relationship with what happened. What happened?
We're still running.
Okay, you hear me? You see me? I don't see anything.
We see you.
You see me? Good. Okay. My screen is totally blank, but okay.
All right, it's okay. Keep going.
Okay, so part of it is we have to realize that most of us Baruch Hashem didn't never like to marry women, but you know what? Maybe we looked inappropriately at a woman, and on some level it's like that. So there's a lot of things like that. Anyway, I wish everybody I see myself. I mentioned your, and we'll see everybody in Mitzvah Hashem again soon. I don't see anybody now. I don't see myself. I hope it's all like it.
We're gonna
have to have 3 active guys because it's Sunday. Next 4 Sundays are going to be all Yontif in the States. So we'll.
But Naftali, what are you in a sukkah?
Yeah, I'm trying to build my sukkah. Same time I'm trying to hear some Torah.
Look at that. Building a sukkah so early.
I only have Sundays to work.
That's true.
That's true. And there's not that many Sundays now.
That's it. This is the last Sunday before Sukkot.
Yeah, I'm outside, but I was building my sukkah today also.
Really?
You are all welcome to build my sukkah.
You're a big check.
Yeah, you're all welcome to go ahead and build my sukkah. I don't know when I'm building it.
It's going to be rough.
We lost him. Hey.
Definitely going to be a rough year this year for the sukkah.
Gotta put a mask on the sukkah. It's okay.
Next year will be rougher because next year Yom Kippur's on a Thursday.
What?
Yom Kippur's on a Thursday.
Thank God.
Oh.
Okay.
No, that's not bad. No, Adarabba, because now you have Sunday to do all the laundry for the 3D Yontif every time. A day to come to yourself, it's
Next year, next year is the longest possible sleeping. And it only happens 3 times in 19 years. And this year in Yerushalayim, we have a 3-day Purim. So anybody wants to join me for Purim for 3 days?
The best. That's right.
All right, next year with everybody. I'm glad we learned.
And everybody else
I'm very good bench chair.
And please remember, good to see everybody.
We'll do everyone. Enjoy.
See you.
Only the best, Rebbe. Thank you very much for this. What a treat.
I enjoy it very much.
Absolutely.
I enjoy it very much. But I want to do it a little earlier next week. Okay. Sleep this. I gotta go sleep eventually.
Yeah, it's not early there.
Anyway, Mr. Hashem, we'll see everybody.
After Yom Tov.
Hopefully soon in good health. Be well.
Yeah, okay.
Take care, everybody.
But you didn't ask me for a copy of this. Mr. Hashem, I'll send. Anybody else wants a copy, send me an email and I'll send you a copy.
Yeah.
I've got to, my wife can scan it, but okay.
This is being recorded, so I'm going to also try to send this out once it
scan it.
gets done. So, all right. Take care, everybody.
All right.
Bye.